Baby,
More than anything.
better watch out, fellas. Obama's back, and I've got something to prove. You may have knocked me down, but you didn't knock me out. Just like Stella, I got to prove that motherfucking Obama.
Okay, wow. This is supposed to be satirical. It's making fun of Obama's White House years. There is one scene where the Obamas are singing about White House love, and for some reason, Joe Biden comes into the room and tries to join the scene. I don't know why anybody is thinking about anything like that, but here we are. Demetri, does this feel, I know you weren't alive for the Obama administration, but does this feel disrespectful to the former president?
That's okay, Demetri, because Teray was technically dead. He's an ancestor.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's an ancestor.
He's a ghost still walking. I appreciate that, though. But this here, I remember I think I was a kid when Obama got 2008. I was probably like 12 years old or something like that.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
And the thing about it,
No,
I
you
remember
weren't.
crying when Obama
Your daddy was 12.
I had to be like 12 or something. But yeah, no.
Demetri, you said you were crying because I want to hear the
Yes. I was in tears. Like I turned my little game off. I'm sitting here watching the inauguration with my parents, and this was a thing for me.
Wow.
Like I seen recently, and it was on like a thing the NBA was doing about the U.S. Olympics. Anthony Edwards was having a conversation with Obama, and I was disrespected at how you not putting respect on who you talking to.
Hold on, but what you said before, you reminded me of election night, and it wasn't certain going into the night who was going to win.
Yeah.
And when it finally, and a lot of us were talking about the Tom Bradley effect, maybe they'll get in there, not because he's leading in the polls, but we weren't. Right. And when it was finally called, I mean, like I had chills. I don't think I cried because I think that is socialized out of me, but like I definitely had like a deep emotion of like, oh my God, like this massive moment in America has happened. I had a little baby then, and I remember looking at him and being like, wow, like you're going to know a world with a Black president. Like that is so crazy to me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's disrespectful. However, when it comes to the president, there's nothing more beautiful than being able to see a piece of yourself at the highest, most highly esteemed position in America. I think that creates opportunity, it creates belief, and it really shatters a lot of the mindsets that we used to have. Like we could never have a Black president. Well, we did it.
You know, I obviously we don't want to judge a piece of art that we haven't seen, although, you know, because I want to evaluate the tone of how something's done, although I don't imagine how Joe Biden walking in mistakenly on a moment of like real love between this deep loving couple that has been together for decades and their love is sort of like iconic. I don't know how that would work. Like, how am I supposed to not find that disrespectful? Like,
we gotta see it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to, but I mean, I don't know how you can play it that it's not going to make me cringe. Should be like,
if this was a Trump musical, he'd be standing on a horse riding in with some powerful song playing in the background. It would not be this interpretation.
There's a movie out Trump right now. There's a movie out right now about Trump.
Yeah. And you know what, Sarah, with all due respect, this is a Black news with a Black voice. We don't give a damn about that Trump. We're not to promote that.
Amen. Amen. Moving on. Moving into politicking, our next segment. When you go to school, you should learn facts. But because of the maniac who Sarah's just talking about, in some schools, they won't be learning facts. Starting next school year in Oklahoma, in high school, students will be studying the 2020 presidential election and learning that maybe it was stolen from Trump. Make your own decision. Research it yourself. Figure it out for yourself. Fact check. It was 100% not stolen. However, the big lie about the 2020 election persists. And you wonder, like, Cheyenne, should Black people be part of like reverse unoing this trend of like fake news and fake information? And could you have like Black institutions like a church say, we're going to start to help educate the community?
Let me go further. I love what you said. Not just a church. We have Black Lives Matter. That's a civil rights Black organization. We have NAACP. That's a civil rights Black organization. We have many other organizations that aren't as big as those two, but are extremely impactful. Why are they not mobilizing? And I'm a president of NAACP, and I'm calling us out. Why are we not mobilizing with other, not just civil rights, but Black organizations that provide resources? We got financial literary organization for Black folks. We got educational. We have all kinds of organizations that give away scholarships for education. We got HBCU organizations. We have the Divine Nine. Do I have to keep going? We have so many Black organizations. Why are we not organizing as a collective and saying, okay, in every church, let's teach it? NAACP in every one of your branches offices, let's set up shop. Back in the day when we were not able to go to school and we were at the hands of the master, what do you think that we taught our kids at? What do you think the education was exchanged from? I'm not saying we go back to slavery days. What I'm saying is we have to mobilize and figure out, okay, Torrey, listen, where do we do this at? How do we do it? So many organizations have buildings that are donated to them. Churches have churches and they have different buildings donated to them by the city because they are a tax exempt organization that they don't pay for.